Alicyn's Wonderland. This is the show that takes you through the looking glass into the wild and wonderful world of animation and video games. I'm your host, Alicyn Packard. I want to give a big shout out to everyone that's joining live. I love seeing those faces. Web Striker, Jeremy's on here, George, Mark Anthony, Paul Derby, what? Info Bobby, new face there. You guys, thank you so much for coming on board. Tonight we have an amazing guest, not just one, but two, which may even be a first. I'm trying to think if we've ever had two guests before. Tonight we have Jonny, Jonah, and Matty Shapiro, aka Jonny Jingles and Matty Maracas, also known as the Beatbuds. If you are local to LA, I'm sure you've heard of the Beatbuds. They are a legendary kids music band. They are on the music right now. I'm going to turn that down for a sec. They are lifelong musical partners. They have been best friends since they were 6 years old. So not only are they best buds, but they're also jammed together. And they have a brand new animated series coming out on Nick June 7th. So I cannot wait to welcome the Beatbuds to the show. Yay! Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands and only Beatbuds. Hi, guys.
Hey, Alicyn.
It's so good to see your faces.
You too.
Totally without a mask on, right?
I know. And it always it crops in so tight, so we all have to kind of back off. Welcome to Alicyn's Wonderland. It's so good to see you.
You too. Thanks for having us.
I'm so excited. As you know, I'm like a huge Beatbuds fan. Seen you jam out in concert at least 3 times. For various parties. My son's preschool party, we had a backyard thing, another friend's birthday party, I think even more than that. And you guys, I love how much joy and positivity you bring. And also, it's a nice balance of, there's a lot of stuff my kid likes that maybe I would take a pass on, but whenever it's the Beatbuds, it makes me super, super happy. So I was overjoyed to hear that you have a new series coming out on Nickelodeon.
Thank you.
That's so exciting.
We're thrilled. Matt and I, when we conceived this whole thing, and it took us a while even to conceive it because it really happened by accident. But I tend to be the dreamer. Matt tends to be more the realist. A couple times I was like, we're going to get a TV show. He was like, whoa, come back to Earth. And now it's just, it's all happening.
I mean, it really, wasn't
Jonny
so much
had his vision board.
A lot of things had to transpire to get to the point where that could actually be feasible.
Yeah.
How does it start? We have a logo made for our band, that kind of looks something like this.
Yeah.
We get a visual on, animated characters. Interesting.
Yeah.
We get alter egos, Matty Maracas' name, Jonny Jingles' name. We kind of pull that out. Then all these kind of
book.
Yeah, we did a book with that. We start to see the visual approach, and then I get on board. But it's never just like, it can't happen. It's
right. You have to see it laid out, the steps.
Yeah, that's how I work. I just I like to look steps ahead, and it just magically came together in that way. I mean, I'm sure we aimed toward it, but we're so glad to now have a visual component with what it is that we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it like seeing yourself as an animated character?
We've been doing it for a long time, actually, so we're okay. And we've seen different versions of how we would look animated. Because this isn't the first version.
Yeah, this is a later rendition.
And it's been changed several times since then. So we're kind of used to it. And really speaking, I think it's the best version of ourselves. So, those animated characters, they don't get receding hairlines. And
yeah.
Yeah, it was actually, you sent me over the brand new... the brand new version of your logo, and I think it is so cool. I'm just going to turn the camera around. Is that okay to show everybody?
Yeah,
go for it.
Okay, great. I didn't have a chance to get this in time for my flyer, but you guys check this out. Hello.
There it is.
Hey, well, I know that guy.
Gosh, I look so
That
young.
is awesome.
No, I mean, the coolest thing is, it's interesting. John and I have known each other since we were 6 years old. So the child element has never really left our relationship. So all these adventures that we're going on, it's like we're it's like we're still kids. We get to like almost relive our youth through this.
Yeah.
In some
What
weird
What
way.
is the age of your characters in the show? Are they children or are they
Teenagers? They're
teens? Yeah.
any, pick it. 13.
Scooby-Doo age?
Somewhere in there. Yeah.
I drive, so I mean, I guess there's some, idea of what age that may be, but I don't know. Dogs drive too in cartoon world, so
That is true.
Yeah, I guess I like the fact that we're younger because I was definitely more adventurous when I was younger.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah, things always shift a little when you have children, I've noticed myself.
Yeah.
But it's fun, to be able to take that, the essence, that kids that bring the inspiration and inspire your work, and then take that and bring it to something that is an animated series that's going to be now seen all over the world. That is so cool.
For sure.
Yeah.
Are you guys are you involved with the behind the scenes? How involved are you guys with the production?
We were super involved.
Yeah. Maybe more than anyone intended for us to be.
Yeah. I mean, Nickelodeon was really cool.
Yeah.
Super cool with we had a lot of input in all angles of it. From the voiceovers and stuff that was going on, to the storylines, to just having sit down meetings with them and letting them know who we are and what our dynamic is. You know, I love food, so there's a food element. Jonny loves lasers on his guitar, so he has a laser guitar. They really try to capture the essence of what it is that we did in real life.
Yeah.
And
our friendship,
Yeah.
which is most important.
Yeah.
So
How did it all come about? Was that something that was it an idea that you pitched them, or did somebody approach you?
This idea had been brewing for a long time, and we'd been thinking, with several different people. We know a lot of people in the entertainment world now, and we kept hearing people tell us the same thing. You need to build a world, and we're not writers or anything, and we just kept thinking about what is that Beatbuds world, and we had a few different ideas, and then finally we landed on something that we felt was really strong with a showrunner to do like what do we develop with Swampy? It was like a short
Swampy Marsh.
Yeah, a little bit of live action, a little bit of animation.
a little bit of both.
Worldly approach.
And we pitched that, and I remember we had a few top choices for networks we wanted to go to, and Nickelodeon was the number one. And
they were always the number one.
We went into that meeting, and Matt and I are sitting at this giant board table with 12 execs from Nickelodeon. This is pre-COVID.
Yeah, craft services and like a whole table.
Yeah,
and I'm already at the table. I'm not even listening.
We're definitely more focused on craft services than.
Did you bring your instruments?
No, they had seen the pitch. They'd seen the thing we shot, and we went in just to tell them about us and our story and whatnot. And a few of them knew us already because we've been playing birthdays in this town 1,000 shows a year each.
Oh my God.
It was almost like we showcased already for these executives.
Yeah.
Like we went in already, with the golden ticket somewhat in our back pocket. I mean, we had to get there, but I mean, they knew who we were and they knew what our dynamic was.
Right.
So,
but yeah, we went in there, and I remember, we did our thing, and then we let everyone talk, and we had our handlers there from SB Projects, and we got back in the elevator, and as we're going down, we said to our guys, so what do we do next? Do we wait to hear from them, or do we go and start pitching to these other networks that are, down the list from us? And they said, we sold the show. And we looked at each other and we were like, when did that happen?
Yeah, like we somehow
missed that moment where they bit,
We had envisioned probably that they were going to slap a contract down on the table. I was going to have the felt pen, and I was going to sign it. We didn't really know what to expect.
Yeah.
Where's my quill?
Yeah, exactly. But somehow it came and went. And we
missed it. We missed it, but we were really happy.
Yeah. And once again, we knew the players involved just from the years, like Jonny said, from the years of playing the birthday parties, and a lot of people came together in the right ways, and people moved into certain positions that allowed for this to happen, and we're certainly grateful to all those people, and just for the way the world and the stars aligned, and all the people that have supported us too.
Yeah, and going back just a little bit too, when we came up with these pitches and whatnot, we had also partnered with Scooter. At that time, yeah, and Scooter told us, that it was going to take him like a year and a half to set up runway for what we really want to do, And, you know, he's like, you guys just handle what you're doing, handle your service-based business. And he's like, I'll work on the rest. And he set a bunch of stuff up. And like Matt said, a lot of the right players had to be involved, and they were involved at that time. From us teaming up with Scooter and then some of our contacts at Nickelodeon.
Your legend precedes you.
It was just, listen, it was just a great marriage. It really was. And we're just so thrilled to be a part of our #1 choice network.
Yeah.
Aw,
I
that's
mean,
amazing.
to be side by side with some of those properties is,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm humbled for sure.
Yeah, I cannot wait to see this. I'm so excited. And so it's short form, is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can
Smaller
you tell us a little bit about the format?
It's like a 5 minute and 30 seconds. So I guess that would be half of an 11-minute episode. Somewhat of a music video with a top and tail.
Right. It's, it's thriller videos, essentially. You know, we're doing these long-form music videos, or I guess short-form shows, right?
Yeah. We set up story in the beginning, we create the conflict. The song happens, which we're so happy that, you know, the songs are our core fan base know these songs. And then we finale it up after the end of the music video. And there you go. And that we have 10 of those happening.
Yeah.
So, wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So that's your season order. And so I know that you guys have announced that you're airing June 7th through June 11th. Will they air all 10 within that time frame? Yeah,
so they're going to air 2 a day, back to back, in between some of my son's favorite shows. So we'll be watching no matter what. And then it'll be on Nickelodeon, and I think it's East Coast times, 9 a.m. East Coast.
Okay.
And then I know it's on Nick Jr. as well at, I think, like 3 o'clock or 6 o'clock, one of the two. But they're going to air it on both networks, and they're having this whole thing called the Beat Bash, which is, you know, the concert that we've put on for years and years and years. And the Beat Bash is going to be all of their properties' most musical episodes, I guess, that they're going to be running, you know, for that week.
That's really awesome.
Cool. Yeah. They really tied it in well. Nick, we really want to thank Nickelodeon for just being able to just like take something brand new and really put all their power behind it. Yeah. It's incredible how they're doing that with all their properties and bringing us right in the middle of it.
Yeah, it's so interesting. It's going to be like, it brings that party vibe, like straight up to the whole network. Like, it's like everybody's got your back.
Yeah, it's really neat.
Oh, awesome. So let's take it back a little bit then, because I want to hear kind of about the early days and how the Beatbuds got started. You guys were in bands for a while, right?
Yeah, both of us. I mean, the nice thing about Matt and I is that we met when we were 6 years old, and we developed a friendship outside of a musical bond, which was really important, because when we then developed our musical bond, it just really solidified our best friendship. And playing in bands, you know, we got to tour the country together in a bus, and, you know, we later on internationally, but all that stuff really just solidified our friendship even more. And again, because we were friends prior to music, it was just it made everything so easy. You hear all these horror stories about people in bands and the fights and the this, and it was never like that. I mean, we were a band of brothers, and, you know, when the band couldn't do its thing anymore and we had to kind of step away from that, Matt had already had one of his daughters at the time. I didn't have kids yet, but I had 2 nephews around her age. Right. And Matt had just dealt with
6-month-old.
Yeah. Matt had just dealt with a pretty horrific back injury at work.
Yeah.
And he had had surgery and
a life-changing medical condition with my back that like affected all my nerve endings and stuff. So
oh my gosh.
Nerve endings. And I had to, in that moment, it's like so weird to like think back about this now. Like I had to change my whole life's trajectory in that moment when the surgeon said to me, "You are done doing what you were doing." I was working in the grocery business at the time, a lot of lifting, just working in markets and stuff. Like, you are done with this line of work, so figure something else out, but you're good to go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
You know?
So do you think that was kind of a blessing in disguise?
For sure.
Yeah, looking back now, for sure.
Even though, you know, 5 years later, he still doesn't feel the tips of his toes, but it's still a blessing in disguise.
I can't hang on a basketball rim anymore, but is that really that important?
I mean, as long as you can drum, right?
Yeah,
exactly. That was actually one of the things I feared the most, was because my lower extremities were compromised, but with enough rehab, you can get that stuff back together. So
Yeah.
for the most part, it all came back.
But after that injury that he had, he wasn't working. He was spending a lot of time with his daughter, kind of doing Mr. Mom thing, and he was going to a lot of music classes and ballet classes and that sort of stuff.
Oh, it's the best time.
Gym
Best
classes.
I know. Some of it's, yeah, you know.
Well, I mean, look, I was on disability, you know, and it's pretty decent, actually. It's pretty decent. I mean, it starts to dwindle, you know, pretty decent. And like, I was able to really, like, first of all, develop a bond with my daughter that's like unmistakable. I mean, we're connected at the hip. It's crazy. But, like, that time, like, just I was able to just release everything from here and just kind of look at life from a different approach. And I think only with that kind of freedom mentally can you really like wrap your mind around a complete about face,
Right.
you know, and take it to another level, a better level.
Yeah. And so what ended up happening was he was with her often, and he was also going to a rehabilitation clinic that was near my house where I had a home studio. And he would still come over whenever he was nearby, and he would help me with, you know, the music that I was working on at the time. We've always been, you know, partners in music and everything that I've ever done and he's ever done. So
it was half a block away from his house.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, what are the chances of that?
Yeah.
The rehabilitation, like, I live in the valley, you know, The rehabilitation center was literally a half a block from his house. So, like, I mean, I don't know, so many things lined up.
So we were hanging out quite a bit more, and he came over a couple times, and he had his daughter, and he showed me one time the CD that he had gotten from the music class that they were in together. And, you know, it was a pretty terrible recording with some pretty terrible cover songs. It wasn't even, you know, barely any original songs, you know, mostly.
No wheels on the bus.
That kind of stuff.
Well, that's a good one. Skidamarinka-dinka-dink, you know,
that kind of
some
stuff.
of that, you know.
And my sister actually happened to be over. I don't know if it was the very same day, but she said, you know, hey, you know, we do these music classes too, and you should listen to the music from our music class. I think it's a little better. So I listened to that too, and I was like, marginally better.
A little.
Well, you had see, and that's another cool perspective, right? You were in a different position mentally,
right?
Like, not really immersed entirely in the kid world,
right?
Although you had your nephew, so you were getting a taste of it. So you were looking at it from a different perspective, which was so valuable.
Yeah, and I think what ended up happening, basically, if I recall from back then, is that we basically just sat down that day, and we had my nephews there in the studio too, and we were like, why don't we just write a kid song that's better than this stuff that they're listening to, just for them, you know? So we did, and we did our first song, which is our song All Aboard, and that's my nephews on it, if you know that song. And they're helping out in the studio and shaking shakers, and their voices are all over the place. We burned a CD with, I think eventually we had like one or two more songs. Burned a CD.
A CD, for those listening, it's like a round, circular thing.
A laser.
Totally vintage.
Yeah.
So you know, we burned a few for his wife and a few for my sister, and every now and then they would say, you know, I need 10 more for my friends, and I need 10 more here and 10 more here, and they started getting dispersed around town. And we weren't the Beatbuds. We weren't looking for a career in that direction or anything like that. Although I think the wheels had started to spin in Matt's head.
But I remember on the bus.
The wheels on my bus
in his head. Yeah.
Yes.
And I remember I had left for a tour in Europe with my adult band at the time. And when I came back, I had like, you know, 50 messages from Matt, because I wasn't checking messages when I was overseas. And
again, retro.
Yeah. And they were like, all the messages were, you know, we got an offer to play a birthday party. I really need to know right away. And I remember I came back and I landed in JFK when I got these voicemails. I call them and I was like, I just got off stage in Germany playing to 10,000 people. I do not want to play at a birthday party. And it took a little convincing.
My disability was about this.
Yeah.
At this point.
And it took a little convincing, but we ended up playing this party. We figured out how we were going to take these songs that we had produced with a lot of instrumentation, and you know, bring it down to a two-piece. And Matt and I have had so much experience playing with each other. We really know how to make our instruments sound big.
Yeah.
And we know how to make a two-piece sound like it's like 3 or 4 people. You know.
Yeah.
So we figured out how to do that. We went and we played this party, and we killed it. Like, we killed it.
It was cool. I mean, it was cool. It was just our chemistry was enough to really light that fire. And like, the cool thing about it was, I remember it was just before that birthday party, you know, I was nervous. Yeah, we were nervous because a birthday party. I mean, you know, right? I mean, a birthday party is like.
Oh yeah.
It's an intimate setting. It's actually. I think it's. I mean, I've never played for 10 or 20,000 people before, but I mean, it's pretty nerve wracking when you have just people expecting you to elevate their party.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I was a kids entertainer for 2 or 3 years when I first moved there. Dressing up and having to walk into somebody's personal space dressed like Ariel or Dora and take the lead. You kind of just have to dive into the pool. It's like nothing you've ever experienced before.
Right, exactly. And we knew that, like, well, we got to do something different. We can't just perform for these kids and just play.
Lost you guys. Oh, I can't hear you guys. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I think I lost you. Hello, hello. Shoot. Can you guys hear me? Are you frozen? Nope. Wi-Fi. Okay. I think we should disconnect and try to reconnect. Okay. Sound check. Hello. Okay, let's disconnect and reconnect. Okay, guys, we'll be right back. Consider this your commercial break. We'll be back. Hi, guys. Welcome to part 2 of the Beatbuds. We just had a little bit of a glitch. In the meantime,
let's all get on the train.
This is the song that we were talking about, All Aboard. The Beatbuds' very first song. Hey, good to see you guys made it back. Hey, Chris Brown. Hey there. Hey, Kids Show Young and Old, Cartoon Sebastian. Just Stewart. Can't wait to chat with you soon. Okay, so we are in the midst of our interview with the Beatbuds, and we had a little bit of a technical difficulty, so we are reconnecting right now, guys. Here we go. Choo choo. You know, every TV show has a commercial break, so consider this that.
Okay.
Are we back?
Hi,
We good?
we're back.
Oh, sorry about that,
guys. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. Sometimes, you know, there's a little glitchy, but we're back. So, where did we leave off? We were talking about.
No, I remember. We were just figuring out how were we going to launch this birthday party. We realized that we needed the kids to be the third member of the band, so that they were actually doing something and contributing to the experience themselves, and seeing that they can do this too. Right. And
otherwise, they're just waiting.
What set it off.
Yeah. Otherwise, they're just interrupting you anyway, right? You got to kind of put them to work.
Right, exactly. But, you know, after that, you know, one party just kind of led to another, you know. A few of the moms at that party said, you know, I'd love to have you at my kid's party. And it started to become this thing. And we went from, you know, playing 2 parties on a weekend in a month to playing 8 parties on weekends in a month in such a short time. It grew so fast. And we were behind the business. We still really weren't even the Beatbuds. We still just had CDs that we were handing out to people. At that point, Matt was like, look, there's something here. Why don't we put up a website, put the songs out on iTunes, and just see what happens. But he's like, I don't want this to be like a band.
Yeah, I did. I didn't want this to be the same thing of the bands that we always tried to start previously. I wanted like a new thing. It was just us 2. This was great.
Okay.
We only had to answer to each other, but naturally it needed to grow. So we needed a logo. We needed, like Jonny said, the website,
a mailing list. And it did become that, but it just, we were always a little behind it because it wasn't a planned thing, and this thing happened so organically for us. We were always a step behind the business. It was evolving faster than we were even thinking about what it could do, because once we realized that we had a birthday party business potentially, suddenly a mom said to us, would you guys ever do like a mommy and me class at my house? And we were like, what a great idea. Let's do that. We were always behind the business a little bit. And and then we started doing that, and it opened it up, and we were doing 3-4 shows a day. We still are doing 3-4 shows a day, 7 days a week.
We are still working that.
We're still working that
Wow.
TV show or not. Yeah. We're in the trenches, but in a good way. I mean, we love the kids.
And it's great because we've met so many people in the community. We've literally watched kids grow up. Some families who have 3, 4 kids have been with us for 8 years, you know, and we've done their first kid's birthday, then the siblings and the siblings and the siblings. It's been amazing. It's really been amazing to be that immersed in your fan base, you know.
And when did you make the first, like, when did you cut your first song? How long ago was that?
I think it was 2012.
Yeah, the end of 2012 was just the All Aboard.
Yeah.
I mean, that's less than 10 years to gain so much momentum in such a short period of time. Is almost like, wow, you're perfectly aligned with, you know, sound a little hippie, but, you know, you're perfectly aligned with what the universe needs, and right time, right place. It just, you know, getting goosebumps.
What we needed, honestly, what we needed, because as Matt said, you know, he needed to be with something else. You know, he needed to find something else. For me, I was kind of transitioning out of that life that I was living, and you know, when I started doing the kid stuff, I started balancing out, you know, really what's better here, you know? Not having to fight a club promoter at 3 a.m. for my money is definitely a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, we have a career now.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if you want to just get down to the business of it, I mean, it became a career, a real way to, you know, to see structure in our lives. I mean, for so long when we were playing in the band together, I mean, there's no structure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amorphous, you know, and this gave us structure, and we could grow with this. Yeah. And as
we made it
families came.
Yeah, we made it a career. And I was transitioning, then I had a family as well. Now I have a son, and I'm just thankful that we have this, and this has really been, you know, something that we created, and all the stars lined up for us to do it, because I just can't see my life being any other way right now. So
yeah,
it's pretty great.
I agree.
God, guys, that's so touching.
Yeah,
and think about I mean, if you want to talk about impact as an artist, one of the biggest impacts you can make is affecting someone in a positive way with music, especially kids. You know, how many kids are sitting there in your audience watching you guys on stage being like, I want to do that someday.
Yeah. And we hear it all the time, you know. I mean, just the other day, when I grow up, I want to be a Beatbud from one of our you know, the kids that we play for. And we just hear it all the time, and we see it. We see these kids dressing up like us. You know, one of them will have their hat flipped up, and the other one will have their hat turned backwards. It gets to the point where if it's a sunny day and Matt turns his hat around, the kids are like, why are you doing that? That's not Matty.
They're like, you're Jonny then.
Yeah.
I think one of the important things is that we're giving the kids like an outlet that we had when we were kids, like the outlet of music. I mean, where would we be if we didn't have that?
I'm telling you, music kept us out of a lot of trouble when we were kids. It really did.
You guys grew up in Southern California, right?
Yeah.
In the Valley?
Not the Valley, the other side of town.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the
West Hollywood,
West Hollywood, Beverly Grove kind of area. Right by the Grove.
So it's just another outlet, right? I mean, in a world full of iPads and technologically advanced stuff, you can pick up a tambourine and play a steady beat and have fun with it. Bang on a drum and realize, whoa, I feel more banging this drum than I do just, you know, sitting watching that one video on the iPhone. You know, like I can feel it on my body. And I really think that like we're giving kids a view into that at a super early age. Like, who knows? Like, we've already seen some virtuoso Beatbuds.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like literally playing like, you know, Painted Black with the, you know, Independence on their hands on the piano.
Yeah.
Like,
really amazing stuff.
Well,
so I mean, the sky's the limit with what we're doing here, and I'm so lucky to be a part of it.
Yeah.
So to have a show is to be able to give it to the world.
Yeah, and I think, you know, the thing that resonated the most with people was really the music, because look, we are not the only kids entertainers out there playing music. There's a lot.
Sure.
And I'm pretty positive. I just joined a Facebook group yesterday, and I was astonished how many kids musicians there are out there. But you know, I think that thing that was really, I guess, setting us apart is that there was a real connection to the songs. And then this best friend dynamic that we have, because look, we've grown our business, and we send other guys out and you know, in teams of 2 to do this whole thing, and they're amazing as well, and they really represent our brand really well when they're out there. But there's just something to be said for our dynamic as best friends.
Yeah.
When 2 people have known each other since the age of 6, never stopped being best friends, where we had to, have a Facebook reunion after we didn't talk for 10 years or something like that.
What's Facebook?
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
You don't want to know.
For us to have a friendship that has been that long lasting, that we just have a certain dynamic that I think when kids watch, they think about what a band is when they look at us, and they're like, man, that's fun, because those guys are having so much fun. And it's not forced, and we're just us. We've never, put on funny costumes or anything like that to try to get the kids' attention. We're just us. And we talk like us, and we don't talk down to the kids, because we also, that's one of our things too, is that we think the kids are a lot more sophisticated than most people think. And I don't know, for whatever reason, it really resonated, and thank God it did, because, here we are now.
And
Thank
the parents
God it
appreciate
did.
it. I mean, the parents appreciate it too. I mean, I think that they get a chance to get a rock show in their backyard,
Oh, yeah.
and it's like there's something in it for everybody. It's the songs the songs work for kids, but they also work for adults.
Yeah.
So like, it's almost like, you always say it best. What do you mean? You could always have a character come.
It's because someone said it to me several times in different words, but they said, look, we could always have Spider-Man come to my kids' party, and my kids would be thrilled with Spider-Man, but Spider-Man does nothing for the parents.
Yeah.
And when we show up to parties, we hear all the time how immersed everybody is in the entire party in what we're doing. It's not just like, let's dump the kids off with these entertainers and, go have adult time. Everyone's involved, and that's one of my favorite compliments, really.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Love it.
On the stream, someone just said, you guys are amazing and have been since day one. Nothing but love, and our family will always support you in your...
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
That's so great. For anybody that is just tuning in, that's coming over from Beatbuds and is like, what is going on? This show is called Alicyn's Wonderland. It's a weekly interview show where we chat with some of the most talented people in animation and video games. It happens every Wednesday here on Instagram at Alicyn, and it is now a podcast, so you can get it on all your podcasting networks. So if you guys want to check the Beatbuds out, you can subscribe on iTunes or any other podcast, and their episode will come up in a few weeks. So that's so exciting. So now, when it comes to the storylines within the show, are they kind of inspired by your own lives, or how do you guys come about coming up with the story ideas?
And you're talking about for the show or for the
For
song?
the TV show.
For the TV show, yeah. I mean, they're really based on the songs.
Yeah.
So you can elaborate on that.
Yeah, I mean, basically they took our song and they crafted a story around it. We have a writer, Evan Sinclair, who did an amazing job crafting story around the concepts within our song.
Yeah.
So
look, let me back up for 1 second, because I really gotta give Matt credit for this.
What?
Too. Matt came up with the name, the Beatbuds.
Okay.
And that name, I really think the name alone has really put us in a really good position, because I'm not out there as Johnny's music and he's not Matty music or whatever it is. Like, we're a band, and the cool thing about the name of the Beatbuds is that it's really an all-inclusive name, and anybody can be a Beatbud. And that philosophy that Matt was mentioning earlier about making the kids the next member of the band, it really is all about the name, and that you can be a Beatbud, and your dad can be a Beatbud, and your mom can be a Beatbud, and your sister, and everyone's a Beatbud, right? And when it then turned into the show that we're doing with Nickelodeon, it was that concept that they're using around every one of the songs. So we have a lot of character-driven songs, like Matt said, Sam the Garbage Man, but it's about making everybody a Beatbud, right? So if we're gonna make Sam the Garbage Man a Beatbud in this episode, and in the next episode there's another song that's character-based in a different way, and we're gonna make that person a Beatbud. And everybody it's just an all-inclusive brand that doesn't discriminate when it comes to gender or age or ethnicity. And I think that alone, and again, giving Matt credit with the name here, is that alone really put us in a great place to be able to have a show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that core of friendship, it never ceases to be exciting, no matter what age you are, to know that you're like with your buds, hanging out, playing some music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been really great.
And within the shows, I mean, the dynamic between Matty and Jonny is they pretty much nailed it.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, I look at that and I'm like, Yeah, that's what we were like when we were 16 years old. I mean, sure, we weren't in outer space, and you know, I'm not going to give too much away, but you know, it's pretty fantastical. But I mean, it's definitely based on us as kids.
Yeah,
no doubt about it. So,
and you guys do yourself, I'm assuming, right? You are your own voice actors, right?
No, we're not. We're talking about this today. So the songs are all our voices.
Okay.
We wanted to be the voices, but we realized very quickly that we would have ruined the show.
yeah.
Voice
No
actors
way.
are so talented.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. We've been privy to listen into these voiceover sessions that they're doing on the show. And, you know, I was telling somebody else this morning. I remember at one point the director said, "Give me a little bit of running." And I was thinking to myself, if I was doing a voiceover for the show and the director would give me running, I'd put the microphone on the floor near my feet and I'd run, you know? But this voice actor just breathed as though he was running. And it sounded like the guy was running. And we can't do that stuff.
Yeah.
Look, we want to put this in the best position it can be in. And just like the concept of everybody can be a Beatbud, we know what our strengths are. And we want to make sure that these characters, you know, can really deliver the goods.
Yeah.
And when we heard their auditions, we knew right then and there, like, if we're going to get the kids engaged visually, I mean, look, it's not us. Look, I'm not playing drums in front of a child like I am at a birthday party where I can engage them with everything I got.
Yeah.
You know, a voice actor is a voice actor for a reason. You know this better than anybody.
Yeah.
Right? You guys have skills and you've worked on it. You worked on your craft for a lot of years, and we felt that was the best direction.
Yeah, and we got two great guys.
Yeah.
Joe Brogy does Matt's voice.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
And Lucas Graybeal does my voice. And
Yeah, he's good, man.
I think
Really
Lucas has
good.
done quite a few things for Nickelodeon. I know Joe's done a lot, but I don't know if he's done anything for Nickelodeon yet.
But seasoned
But,
veterans.
yeah, these guys were great, really great. They nailed us.
Yeah.
They really got us down.
We
Oh
have
my
our
gosh.
skills obviously within the music realm. And it's nice to see those skills in the voiceover realm. And that's something that we never really experienced. And we got a chance to watch the director direct them. And you know this. And try all different inflections with their voice. And, you know, do it a little quieter, but more excited. And the voiceover actors, Lucas and Joe, they knew exactly what to do. And getting laughs out of Jonny and I while we're sitting here listening to it, just like, whoa, that's the one. No, that's the one.
Yeah, it was so great. It really was so great.
Yeah. So I think that was our best foot forward.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
the
And
songs are
so,
all us.
do you guys go to every recording? Do you go to the recording sessions as well? And
Well, we couldn't go anywhere because it was COVID and everything was done remotely. But
We went to all of them
but
pretty much.
we were there.
you zoomed.
Yeah, we zoomed.
And we're in the chat. I mean, Nickelodeon, like I said earlier, Nickelodeon's, you know, very focused on making sure that everybody has creative say, especially our position as executive producers. So we were able to, you know, just comment to the director, let's hear it this way, or let's hear it that way. How about a little more whoa type of thing? And it went right to them, and they delivered it. It was awesome.
Like, you know, I remember one specific instance, the voiceover actors kept on saying silly monkey.
Right.
And the name of the character is the silly monkey, not silly monkey.
Yeah,
so
silly monkey.
those kind of things, we're always watching every line. And
Oh, yeah, or Matty Maracas.
Yeah, Matty Maracas instead of Maracas.
Matty Maracas, like a maraca.
Maracas.
You know, Matty Maracas. Matty Maracas? Like, we had to nip that in the bud quick. So, but we were there every step of the way. It was fun.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm curious, do you guys have a favorite episode of the show?
I do. Do you?
Yeah, I do too.
You want to say which one of yours?
Why don't you guys say it at the exact same time?
Oh,
and
I
see
don't
if
really
it's...
know the number.
Well, I know mine. Mine's easy.
I love Gravity.
That's your favorite one?
Yeah.
It's a good one.
I love Gravity.
It's a good one.
I don't want to give too much away because I want.
What's yours, Jonny?
Mine is the finale.
Oh, yeah.
Finale.
Okay.
It's awesome. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Because everybody's involved and it's really cool. Listen, this whole thing, the coolest part about this for us is that we were able to see that it really does take a village to do this. You know, this isn't like somebody comes up with a concept and boom, now you have a show, you know, from the voice actors to, you know, the music and the creative. and the directors and the line producer and the mix engineer and the underscorer and the,
so talented.
And then all the people behind the scenes and the people who are managing all these people. And I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I just remember looking at some of our email chains with 30 people CC'd on it, you know? And
the rap party, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Look at all these boxes in the Zoom. I was like, wow, you know, it really does. It takes a team. It really does.
It's pretty amazing. It's really pretty amazing to see how that works. You know, our wheelhouse has always been music. And with music, we figured out how to be totally self-sufficient when it came to putting out music, producing music, mixing, mastering, getting it out digitally, and distributing it. This was a big undertaking by a lot of people. And it was really cool. Even though it's short form, you know, right? These short form videos, I mean, it took a lot of people working on them to make them as great as they are.
Yeah.
Did your band play the Zoom after party?
No.
Like, okay, cheers, everyone.
Very quick.
That's so funny. Well, so, I mean, there's so many different aspects to what you do. You guys are like the ultimate kids indie band too. You know, it's like putting on a show, traveling around with your bestie. I think it's sort of every kid, every kid's fantasy. But what do you think you love the most about what you do?
I'd have to say, I guess it's just the smiles. When you see a 1-year-old in front of you, literally like without any control or inhibition, just shaking their body and dancing around like it's instinctual. And I know that I'm causing that, and that smile's there, and I'm watching the parents like glowing. I'd say that's probably the most rewarding thing that I've gotten out of the Beatbuds.
Yeah.
Of course, there are special needs scenarios when we do those types of gigs, and hopefully we get back to doing some of those. When we get to do gigs for special needs kids, I mean, that is just like a whole other world.
Yeah, those are easily the most rewarding shows that we do, easily. But you know, as that, because I share his sentiment as well, but as that translates into, you know, what we're doing with this Nickelodeon show, is we always say we're in the business of smiles, and now we're in a position where we get to make the whole world smile, you know, and we have to thank Nickelodeon for giving us that opportunity. You know, they're putting the show out in 150 different countries, and they're dubbing it in 40 some odd languages. And, you know, so knowing that we're going to be making kids everywhere smile, I mean, that's just an amazing feeling.
Yeah.
Amazing feeling.
At some point, you know, we've had this regional success, and we're super lucky to have that. And we thank our region and everybody. We're so grateful. But like at some point, it's like, wow, if all these kids here can enjoy this, like, why would we hold back? Like, we got to give this to the world, almost like as a present in a way. I mean, I hope that doesn't sound like I'm bragging or anything in any way, but like, I feel like I wouldn't want to live now in a world where there isn't a Beatbuds, where we can get really young kids feeling the groove inside their body. It's almost like a necessity and like a birthright, in my opinion. So to have this show, to be able to actually have the opportunity to do that, I mean, it's magical.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
That's definitely what I was thinking when the show came out. I was like, yes, this is what we need to be broadcasting this vibration to a bigger audience. And I mean, Nickelodeon couldn't be a more perfect vehicle to get you guys out there. It's so interesting. I wonder, now, do the songs need to be rewritten to rhyme in foreign languages? That must be so challenging.
So we did a lot of different rewrites for some of these songs.
Yeah.
And it was really, for us, Matty and I love doing new things in music because we've been doing music for so long. So when someone challenges us with a new task that we might not be so familiar with, or a direction, because Matt and I, we don't really get a direction and then write for that direction. We just kind of creatively just make music. But I remember, you know, we did the theme song for Disney's Gigantosaurus, and, you know, to have an animatic given to you and a time frame, and, you know, this is the feel that they want from the song, and to be able to build like that was really a great challenge for us. And then once we did that, we wanted more. So when these songs had to be rewritten for Nickelodeon, and, you know, lyrically or whatever it was to fit the scripts, we just looked at it as another awesome challenge. There was really nothing difficult about it because it really sparked our creative juices even more. And I say it all the time. This isn't really work for us. This is just something else sparking another creative bone in our body that we then get to, disappear into our studio here and figure out how to bring that to life. It's really neat.
Yeah.
That's so
there
cool.
are slightly different. There are some slightly different versions of the songs.
Yeah.
You like work with a translator and be like,
okay.
For that, I don't know. I have no idea what they're going to do.
I don't know how. Yeah, that's a great question. How are they going to rhyme all that stuff? I mean, the rhymes don't work the same way in other languages, do they? I don't know.
Not exactly. I mean, they have to find like a simile. That's why I think that's so interesting. So then they would re-sing it, or maybe they could just use the English songs.
I think that, now that you're saying that, I really think there was a discussion about this. But again, Matt and I were probably focused on the craft services. I think the songs will remain in English.
Okay, yeah.
Did you discuss that?
I think so. I think I remember a conversation about that.
Okay.
Don't quote me, but I'm pretty positive the songs will remain.
I don't see that working another way.
Yeah.
That's so great. Aw, you guys. People are saying they already saw maybe the promos on Nickelodeon.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh yeah. Well, what a feeling to see a commercial for your own show. I mean, it's like.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, it's the coolest commercial because they have, as I said, they're running this Beat Bash, which is really, that's our thing, is the Beat Bash. That's the big concert that we're headed to. And they're having a week-long Beat Bash on Nickelodeon, and they have all the characters from all their other shows showing up in the promo for it, and it's Gobi from Bubble Guppies and the Paw Patrol gang and everyone in there, and this Baby Shark thing, right? Everybody's there, and like halfway through they go, and our newest stars, the Beatbuds, and we feel like we're just
oh my gosh
thing now,
I have to see if I can track that down. I want to share that so bad. I want to share it with everybody.
It's so awesome though.
Yeah, it's really
Let's see
neat.
if I can track it down.
Yeah.
Wow.
Even though we've had this launch date and we've been working towards it for the last year and a half, and Matt and I both, we didn't really feel like it was real until we saw it in the guide, where it says the Beatbuds animated series, blah, blah, blah. That's when it really hit us, and Matt and I both were like, this is happening.
Yeah.
Wow.
The whole time they're talking about, while we're making the show, they're talking about the technical aspects of the animation. I'm like, listen, is it going to be in the guide? Because I really want to see it there.
You mean like the DVR guy?
Yeah, exactly. Because that's what tells you that you got a show on television.
That means they're not going to pull it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys set your DVRs now. You can set them now, I think, that's in 5 days, you guys.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You have to have like a party or something. Like invite all your kids over.
Yeah.
Thanks for jumping on, Debbie. You guys, Let's Talk Cartoons. It is an excellent resource for everything that's going on in the animation industry. Debbie on Let's Talk Cartoons. I get a lot of great information from him. So he loves you guys, and he shared your post earlier today. And
we spoke on Instagram today. It was really cool.
Yay, awesome.
Yeah, thanks for that contact.
Wow. So, I mean, I think there's just, I know that we don't have too much longer. So, oops, I accidentally pressed play on the music. I was like playing your music. I know we don't have too much longer, so I want to just, wrap it up slowly and have a couple quick questions left. But I'm wondering, of all the songs to perform live, do you have a favorite song that is your jam?
There are ones. Get Outside and Rock is pretty awesome to do.
Easily my favorite.
Yeah, that's with the full band scenario. That's the one that really gets my motor running.
It's most like what we did when we were playing, grown-up music, for lack of a better term. And that's the one that's easily the most fun for me.
Right, and that's your favorite of the episodes.
Yes.
Is the Get Outside and Rock.
Yeah, that's my favorite of all the episodes.
But look, the hello song, the hello to you all, or hello Beat Buddies as it is.
What's given us all of our legs.
Is the calling card, it's people love that. Once again, the idea of inclusivity and bringing the languages into it, and everybody gets so happy when we say hello in their language.
Yeah.
And so as much as I love Get Outside and Rock, I think the Hello song will always be to me like, wow, that's the one I think that really cemented it for us.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Is there a fan favorite? Oh, because I think your top performing song on Spotify is actually the Dino Dance
Oh, really?
Wow.
by a landslide.
Wow.
Really?
I did not know that.
Very interesting.
We doing good on Spotify? Because I haven't checked those numbers.
Over 200K, 217.
Good enough for Alicyn to say on the air.
That's good.
I know it'll be interesting to track those numbers after the show comes out.
Yeah.
And everybody in the U.S. starts going and driving more energy behind those numbers. That's so exciting.
Yeah.
Aw, guys, I'm so happy for you. It's very, very, very exciting.
Thanks. And you know what? We have to say it means a lot coming from you because you're a mom, and you're a mom who has a kid that we've done a birthday party for, and that means a lot. You know, we've survived on the support of the moms and the dads too, but you know, the moms are the ones that we really communicate with the most. We do the mommy and me classes and all that other stuff, but you know, families is really how we had any kind of longevity doing this, and we're able to continue doing this and make a career out of this, and then have it turn into a show. So for it to come from a mom means a lot.
Do you guys have a mom song yet? I'm trying to think. Do you have a mom song?
We mention moms in our songs, but we don't have a dedicated mom.
I think that could be, guys, I'm pitching you a song idea.
Oh, next Mother's Day, drop it, huh?
Yeah.
Next Mother's Day, drop it like it's hot.
I like it.
Then a dad song, then a dad song. I'm sure will come next.
And then a dad song, and then, you know, I want to be inclusive, so it could be
a lot
dad
of our
songs.
ideas
Everybody.
come directly from you know, parents asking us, hey, will you write a song, you know, for my child? My child is having a tough time going to the bathroom, you know, so we wrote a potty song. Or having trouble going to sleep, so we were going to write a sleep time song. Yeah. So thank you for that input, because
that's a good idea.
We're definitely going to consider it.
Music heals, folks. So I want to wrap it up with one more question tonight. And thank you guys so much to everybody that joined in live. If you're not already following me, feel free to do that. And next week, we actually have Robbie Damon coming on, who is voice actor, very talented. He was on Breadwinners for Nick, and has done a ton of anime, One Punch Man, and blah, blah, blah. And I just got a text, and that was awkward. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Then we have Brian Hull, content creator. Sure, you know Brian from his multi-millions of views on YouTube, doing his impressions. And now he's also starring in the new Hotel Transylvania 4, as well as the Tangled animated series. So lots of fun stuff. So stick around. And one more question before you guys go. If your life, if there was a song in your heart, what would be the title?
A song in
your heart. What would be the title of that song?
Oh man,
that's a tough one.
Let's see.
I'm gonna say I love my mommy because I'm a mama's boy.
I don't know. Keep on pushing.
Keep on pushing. Keep pushing on. That's not a labor song, though. I mean, that's
what's
just
what's the song in your heart?
Oh, I was gonna sing "Let It Go" all of a sudden, and then I was like, "That's already a song, Allie." People of the world. That's already sung. Jonny. How about Let the Love Shine Through? Those are all already songs, Allie.
Yeah.
How derivative.
Because and that's why there's so many song titles named after those.
That's right.
Hundreds of songs. So it's very valid.
They're all good.
Yes.
They're all good titles.
They all work.
My song would be "Thank You for Your Time. I'm so grateful you came on the show and spent a whole hour at 7 o'clock and not 6 o'clock like I pretended it was." I'm so grateful to you guys for coming on the show. It's been so fun getting to talk to you. I'll see if I can find that promo to share here. And if not, definitely looking forward to keeping everybody abreast. Do you guys mind before you going just saying, hey, you're watching, like, thanks for watching Alicyn's Wonderland. Like, we're the Beatbuds. Hey, this is cool. Check it out. Like, something like that.
You ready? Yeah, you ready? Okay. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Hi, we're the Beatbuds.
Thanks for watching Alicyn's Wonderland.
See you guys soon.
That was so awesome. Thank you, guys. And everybody, make sure you're following the Beatbuds, and we'll see you next week. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Bye, everyone.